Watch this footage taken by a phone. A woman is hanging upside down outside the second floor security window. She's hanging in the air, teetering precariously. But the rescue air cushion can't be set up right away. The firefighters who rush to the scene could only work with the neighbors to set up a temporary cushion beneath the woman. The woman was 89 meters above the ground at the time. If she were to hit the ground headfirst from this distance, the consequences would be unimaginable. At the same time, the firefighters also noticed that the woman hanging upside down was overweight. Her entire body was supported by a trouser leg caught on a clothes hanger. But this residential area is old, and the structures are somewhat old. The hanger wouldn't hold for long. As long as the woman moved a little, she could fall. The crowd watching below were all trying to find a solution. Time was running out. The firefighters decided to climb the building by hand using discarded water pipes. But after the pipe broke during the first climb, the firefighters chose another sturdy pipe. They quickly climbed outside the security window, and soon moved to the woman's side. At the same time, a man in black also quickly climbed down from above. The two of them arrived at the trapped woman's side almost simultaneously. They worked together to hold the woman, carry the ladder up. But when she saw this man, the woman's emotions became even more agitated. While crying loudly, she pushed and shoved, close to losing control. I'm going upstairs now. I plan to wait for the boss. You see, the situation is not good. A group of firefighters quickly arrived at the third floor balcony. They put down the safety ropes and belts. Meanwhile, another firefighter downstairs also climbed onto the security window to assist the two above in holding the woman's shoulders. The previous firefighter then began to tie a safety harness on the woman. Hold it first. You're not pulling up. Or are you going to lower her? Wait a minute, hold it first. While the firefighters were tying the harness on the woman and trying to slowly lower her down using the rope, the emotionally agitated woman, suddenly, she made a move that shocked everyone. The woman was not only very resistant to the firefighters' rescue, but also tried to undo her safety belt twice. Seeing this, the people around quickly tried to appease the woman's emotions. After the woman calmed down a bit, the firefighters below pulled on the woman's shoulders. The firefighters above climbed up to release the woman's pant leg from the clothes rack. Everyone upstairs was tightly holding the safety rope. Hurry up and release. Slowly, be careful. Then let go. After being persuaded by the crowd, the woman finally agreed to cooperate with the firefighters and the man to get down from the erected ladder. The entire rescue process took about 10 minutes. The trapped woman finally landed safely. But after the woman landed, she was still not letting it go, crying loudly, as if she were complaining about something. The police learned about the woman's situation after investigation. It turned out that the man who was rescuing with the firefighters was the woman's husband. The two had a quarrel today because of something. In a fit of anger, the woman jumped from the balcony of her third-floor home. The police and the people around her patiently persuaded the woman. Finally, the woman and her husband went home together. In a moment of crisis, kind neighbors and professional firefighters came forward and saved her life. Their actions are very worthy of our respect. Let's pay tribute to these ordinary heroes. Give a thumbs up for their actions. Very magical. Will you pile it up? Let them listen to it. Don't be silly. Every day, from 7:30 to around 10 o'clock. Our neighborhood aunties dance in the square at night, annoying everyone. The old men are disturbed every morning. You know, the cruelest thing. The old man chose to fight fire with fire. Brought out his family's inherited big speakers, playing Indian divine music, also making the square dancing aunties miserable. And the old man who dared to do this is Old Man Jong. The old man said, every night, the aunties would dance in the square downstairs from their home. Before this group of aunties had occupied the square, Old Man Jong's life in his later years was very comfortable. His daily life consisted of eating and resting on schedule. This group of square dancing aunties used to dance in another square. But the sound of their dancing was too loud. The residents of the other square drove them away. Now, Old Man Jong's building is their new battlefield. The sound of the music playing every night is too loud. So much so that Old Man Jong, who wanted to go to bed early, couldn't sleep at all. It's precisely because of the arrival of these aunties that their schedules are completely disrupted. For the elderly, the most important thing is rest. But now, they don't rest well every day. How can they have the energy to live well during the day? Old Man Jong is just the most representative figure among the many people. Many people, though distressed, dare not speak out. Look at the housewives here. What they eat every day. March 3rd. We intervene here. Old Man Jong says that he is a peace-loving person, and has repeatedly advised the square dancing aunties to lower their music volume, or shorten their dancing time, so that the public can rest. But the aunties don't listen to any persuasion. They go their own way. The old man thinks persuasion is useless. He can only use magic to defeat magic. The square dancing aunties are hilarious. They only care about their own happiness. They completely disregard the residents' sleeping hours. Unexpectedly, Old Man Jong is still the most powerful. Old Man Jong came to the square with his big speakers. As long as these aunties continue to play music and dance here, Old Man Jong's speakers will always arrive on schedule, playing divine music, because the sound played by the old man is too loud. The square dancing aunties can't hear their own music at all. Did the three of them fall asleep? We collect them every night at midnight. It is permitted by the state. The magical African ghost comes out, okay? Let them listen to it. So silly. Let them listen to it. This music is very unpleasant to listen to. We've had enough of it. It's like how we have parking qualifications. Let them feel the angry aunties. They can't do anything about Old Man Jong. They can only continue to immerse themselves in their world of dance. Seeing that the aunties were still unwilling to leave, Old Man Jong decided to step up his game and go to the center of the square, to let the square dancing aunties appreciate some African divine music. These aunties were already holding back a lot of anger. They could no longer pretend to be happy. They could only use shouting to express their anger. Hey, 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 I'm thinking. Oh, they're enraged. The aunties turned off Old Man Jong's sound system. Then Old Man Jong came to the center again and turned the sound system back on. Both sides were on the verge of probing each other. The people in the community watched as the two sides were deadlocked. They also came out and asked both sides to compromise. Very magical. Is the kitchen all right? Let them listen to it. If it's your technology, then Asian water. I won't care. I'll just stand on the other. Every night the aunties dance in the square. Until very late. The residents have all suffered. The angry old man wouldn't put up with these aunties. He decided to fight fire with fire. These aunties were completely unable to sit still. They prepared to find Old Man Jong and reason with him. It seemed the elder was still the spicier one. A full-blown battle was about to erupt. At this moment, the leader of the square dancing stepped forward to negotiate. The square dancing aunties realized they were indeed disturbing the residents' rest. She says she will definitely pay more attention to this in the future. And she also expressed her deep apologies to the residents who were disturbed. Old Man Jong said he didn't mean to disturb the aunties dancing either. He just hoped to use this method to remind the aunties. Now, the aunties have realized their mistakes. And they also expressed their apologies to the residents. Old Man Jong also put the speakers away. And he said that appropriate entertainment is indeed good for the body and mind. But it must be done on the premise of not disturbing others' rest. What do you all think about this? You parked for only 5 minutes. Charged over 4,000. 4,960. How could that be? This woman in the dark cotton-padded jacket in the video is the protagonist of this episode, Ms. Nye. She stated that she parked her car in the parking lot for less than 10 minutes last night, but was told to pay a parking fee of nearly 5,000 yuan. What exactly happened? The parking lot is so expensive. Is this really Ms. Nye's problem? Or a problem with the parking lot system? Ms. Nye told the reporter that last night at 7:20, she and her daughter drove to a shopping mall to buy refreshments. At 7:25, they were leaving the parking lot. The parking system showed a parking fee of 4,960 yuan. Ms. Nye said that she was only there for about 10 minutes, buying things. Even if they charged a parking fee, it shouldn't be over 4,000. Let us check for you. Your car is being charged this amount because your car has been parked in our parking lot for 156 days. The security guard blocked Ms. Nye's vehicle, preventing her from leaving. Ms. Nye was very certain that she had parked for less than 10 minutes. It should be free. How did a fee of over 4,000 yuan pop up now? The parking lot system must be malfunctioning. After the parking garage security personnel checked, they found that Ms. Nye's car system showed that it had been parked in this parking lot for over 100 days. Ms. Nye was very puzzled. She insisted that she had only parked for less than 10 minutes. She wanted the security guard to open the parking barrier so she could leave, but the security guard said he couldn't open it. The security guard felt it was inappropriate to let Ms. Nye leave without authorization. If they are held accountable later, he couldn't take this responsibility. But Ms. Nye was in a hurry to pick up her child. She immediately called the police in a fluster. 110 will investigate it for me. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I passed the intersection of Nanjing Road and Liaoyang West Road to the surveillance camera at Xinyang Square. After the police retrieved the surveillance footage, it was proved that Ms. Nye's car did indeed enter the parking lot today. At this moment, the parking lot staff stated that it was probably a system issue. But the problem was, she waited until after 11 p.m. But the gate still hadn't opened. Ms. Nye, left with no choice, could only drive her car to another gate to leave. Ms. Nye believes the parking lot malfunction prevented her car from leaving, wasting her time. It also caused inconvenience to her life. She wants them to compensate her for her mental distress and apologize to her. But after the reporter further inquired with the mall staff to understand the situation, it was discovered that the truth of the matter didn't seem so simple. Liaoyuan Road Police Station has detailed records. There are many records. You can take a look. He hit a security guard on the spot. He did it because he followed the car in front and escaped the fee. So her car must be inside the factory. It showed a long-term order. When the reporter found the staff of Xinyi Plaza, he revealed another important piece of information to us. Ms. Nye got into a physical altercation with the security personnel. She said that the issue of the large parking fee incurred by Ms. Nye's car that day was because Ms. Nye followed the car in front to evade the fee. Therefore, the system showed no record of Ms. Nye's car leaving the parking lot, which resulted in a large parking fee. And the security personnel are helping Ms. Nye investigate. When the parking record was checked, Ms. Nye actually hit the security guard. Regarding this statement, Ms. Nye said that this was impossible. She definitely did not hit the security guard. But the parking lot staff insisted that Ms. Nye had hit the security guard. and they showed us their surveillance footage. On the surveillance footage, Ms. Nye poked the security guard several times with her cell phone. We don't know if there was any actual harm. We don't know. But it's really infuriating to watch. Workers are people too. Anyone in this situation would feel a little humiliated, wouldn't they? Next, the parking lot staff showed us Ms. Nye's car. The footage of it entering and leaving the parking lot. July 3rd, 2021, 12:38. It entered the lot. But there's no record of exiting. Then this is yesterday's record. If you saw yesterday's record, it only shows him exiting, not entering. Under what circumstances does this happen? It happens when his car leaves. He didn't pay. After he evaded payment, there was no exit record. So when he entered again, his entry record was always overwritten by the exit record. Only when it has an exit record again will it show. The staff said, Ms. Nye, in the past few months, her car only had entry records at the mall, but no exit records. This is because Ms. Nye, when leaving the parking lot, followed the car in front of her out, leading to this phenomenon of avoiding payment. The staff also stated, Ms. Nye has not been the first time to evade fees. In the parking system of the shopping mall, it can be seen that Ms. Nye often enters and exits their parking lot. And it can also be found from the parking lot system that Ms. Nye has a record of evading fees by following other cars several times. But Ms. Nye thinks this is not her problem. The fault lies with the parking lot system, and it has nothing to do with her following other cars. So, how does Ms. Nye respond to the property management of Sydney Plaza? Regarding her evading fees by following other cars? Is it really fee evasion, or is there another story? The issue of asking someone for help isn't the main point. The main point is that you wouldn't let me leave. I have to pick up the kids at 8. And then you wouldn't let me leave. Explain yourself. This is why I won't let you. Why would I poke someone else? He wouldn't let you leave, would he? They've also presented evidence here. Because you came in on July 3rd at noon, right? And then, at that time, you should have followed the car in front out. Again, you can see the production date is December 9th. There's nothing wrong with how this system charges. When the staff stated, the system shows your car evaded the fee. Ms. Nye still insists she didn't evade the fee. She said that when she drove out, the barrier was open. If the barrier wasn't open, how did it get out? It can't fly out either. That seems logical. If the barrier doesn't open, it can't get out on its own. And the barrier opened, obviously letting someone drive out, whether it was intentional or unintentional. I'm afraid only Ms. Nye knows for sure. The mall staff made an explanation. It indicates that the barrier will, when a car is very close, to prevent hitting the customer's car. The parking barrier will automatically lift. That is, in the open state. But that doesn't mean the customer can just leave directly, without paying the parking fee. But in this case, Ms. Nye claims she didn't know, and no one told her anything. Even if she evaded payment, she did so unknowingly. But this explanation is unacceptable to the staff. They believe that car owners entering the parking lot should have received a prompt if they scanned the parking system. There should be a notice. And when leaving, the amount due will be displayed on the screen. Generally, customers will pay according to the amount shown above, and will voluntarily pay the parking fee. Things are now very clear. Regarding the dispute between Ms. Nye and the mall, what do the friends in front of the screen think? Welcome to leave a message below the video. Let me tell you what's going on. Once the cost on both sides becomes too large, the mortality rate is above 85%. A Korean girl was rushed to the hospital after a sudden illness, as the mortality rate of this disease is quite high in Korea. Even the girl's father was about to give up. But the actions of the Chinese doctors were astonishing. Kim Hyun-ji, a Korean girl who had worked in Beijing for many years, suffered a sudden cerebral hemorrhage, and was rushed to Beijing Chaoyang Hospital. At this time, Xiao Jing had already fallen into a coma. No matter how the doctors and colleagues called out to her, there was no response. So they quickly contacted neurosurgeon Wu Wenqian. After receiving the news, he immediately rushed to Xiao Jin's side. After examination, Xiao Jin's pupils now have a huge difference in size. The preliminary diagnosis is cerebral herniation. Cerebral herniation means pressure caused by a brain hemorrhage, and Xiao Jin's normal brain tissue has been compressed and displaced. The situation is very critical. The mortality rate in this situation is over 85%. This indicates that Xiao Jin could die at any moment. Surgery must be performed immediately. Xiao Jin's supervisor is also at a loss at this moment. After controlling his emotions, he immediately informed Xiao Jin's family about her critical condition, and because they are far away overseas, Xiao Jin's father has fully entrusted Supervisor Lee to take charge. Meanwhile, the doctors are racing against time to prepare for the surgery. They started shaving Xiao Jin's head. The whole process was also very swift, and at the doctor's suggestion, Xiao Li signed his name on the surgical consent form. The colleagues also knew what it meant to sign this name at this moment. This left them with mixed feelings. After signing, Xiao Jin was immediately sent into the operating room, because this time it was quite difficult. The chief physician of neurosurgery, Song Ying-luan, was in charge of this surgery. She, with vast experience, had already performed countless surgeries. She was seen as a hope for life by countless people. But even when facing this surgery, he was still uncertain, because the cerebral hernia made angiography impossible. They could only rely on experience, proceeding cautiously. And when they opened Xiao Jin's skull, Dr. Song found a large amount of hematoma. And just as he nervously began to clear these masses, an accident suddenly occurred. Hey, I say, why is the blood gushing out like this? Why is it so strange? There must be a reason for this. The sudden massive hemorrhage not only obscured Dr. Song's surgical field of vision, but also put Xiao Jin's condition in extreme danger. But Dr. Song was calm and collected. Relying on his strong psychological quality, he analyzed that Xiao Jin had a severe vascular malformation. This caused the previous experience to be greatly discounted here, because the position of the vascular malformation also deviated. Plus, there was no angiography. This was like walking with blindfolds on. At this moment, Dr. Song faced the biggest challenge of his life. Fortunately, although he was nervous, he analyzed calmly and operated steadily, because if he couldn't see clearly, he would search painstakingly, bit by bit. Where there's a will, there's a way. When the surgery reached its 4th hour, Dr. Song finally found the feeding artery and cleared the vascular malformation. And when the surgery was finished, after stitching up the skull, a full 7 hours had passed. Dr. Song looked exhausted. Xiao Jin, after the surgery, was in a coma for 3 full days. Xiao Jin's father also rushed to her side. At this moment, her father seemed very happy, because when he learned that the surgery had reached 4 hours, he had already despaired. He had even given up, because in Korea, surgeries that generally exceed 4 hours, it's already very difficult to bring the patient back to life. But what moved him deeply was that the Chinese doctors did not give up easily, and had pulled his daughter back from the brink of death. He couldn't help but exclaim, "Fortunately, my daughter had the surgery in China." Who said to contact 132? Such a beautiful person? South Korea is a stranger. The internal line reflected out. Had have surgery. 40 days later, Xiao Jin was discharged from the hospital. She was also taken back to Korea by her family to receive follow-up treatment. Xiao Jin's family paid their highest respects to the Chinese doctors. It was they who gave Xiao Jin a second life.